Music TV. Music TV. Music TV.
Oh yeah, and we're back. So we're talking about Airbnb apologize after TikTok calls out Mississippi slave cabin listing. So, before we go on, I just want to say, the anti-black racism, it just keeps closing in on you. It seems like every other day, a company is showing you, they expect or just I just got it, man. But it said Airbnb on Monday removed listings of property that once housed enslaved people in the U.S. days after TikTok user lambasted a slave cabin in Mississippi that was bed and breakfast accommodation. Winston Yikes, a black lawyer from New Orleans, criticized San Francisco-based company last week and posted screen grabs shots of the listing promoted as the Panther Burn Cottage and Belmont Plantation in Greenville, Mississippi. According to the screenshot, the structure was described as an 1830 slave cabin that was also used as a tenant sharecropper cabin and a medical office for local farmers and their families. If you were to see the pictures of it inside, you'd have no idea of the history of the building. And I think for me, the mockery of the experience, Yates, whose clip was viewed more than 2.6 million times on USA Today, said it was the continuation of erasing what experience the slavery was. The property was a former plantation, recently changed ownership in July, and its new owner, Brad Hauser, said it had been a doctor's office but not a slave quarters. And then it was previously owner decided to make the marketing building as the place where slaves were kept. Hauser said strongly opposed. Airbnb said it removed the listing and the others known to include former slave quarters in the U.S. So only after people had to say about it did they jump and move like it was a really big deal. Formerly the enslaved have no place on Airbnb. Airbnb sent the statement to the U.S. Today. So, and of course, you know what? To say that anyway, it says because they lose no money for the trauma and the grief created by the listing and others like it, and that we did not act sooner to address this issue. Yeah, because you wasn't worried about it. The company said that it's working with experts to develop new policies for dealing with the properties tied to slavery. Basically, you want to still keep it in there, but do it in a more sensitive way so that they can still get the money for the appeal of the allure of slavery, but you don't have to shun any of your PC people who want to get down like that and spend money with you. I get it. The associate professor of the history directory of the Center of Africana Studies said Johns Hopkins University called for respect for the places where people were enslaved. You wouldn't have this kind of thing happening if there was a Holocaust place, he said, which is true. He said, give it the gravitas that it deserves and the reverence that it deserves for those people who have lived and died there and suffered there. Hauser is also turning the experts and the plans to provide guests with the historical accurate portrayal of the life of the Belmont for any one of those that lived there, including the 80-some people who were enslaved. No, y'all not, because y'all not going to tell about the atrocities that the buck-breaking ass slave master was doing, or slave woman was doing. Y'all ain't gonna tell about all the alligator bait and all the babies that was stumped on out of being cut out of her stomach. Y'all ain't gonna tell about all the families that was broke up and sold and men beat in front of it. Y'all not gonna tell about the real atrocities, so shut up. Anyway, I had to go off real quick. It says, I intend to do all I can to right the terrible wrong I did and hopefully regain advertising on Airbnb so Belmont can be a contributor to the most urgent demand for a truth-telling source. Get out of here. Just so you can capitalize on. I don't even want to read the rest of your statement. It's some bullshit. But you're saying you want to still be able to capitalize off Airbnb and say slave quarters. Boom. And there you have it, y'all. What did we learn today here, kids? We learned that, slavery and its references and things of that nature is A-okay until you point it out. And if we feel like we might lose some money over it, then it's bad. But until then, we're going to keep doing what we want to do. And then even after that, we're going to explain how we want to keep doing it. It just, all the way around the clock, right? Another example on how there's blatant disrespect and anti-Black racism woven into the fabric said community. I mean, said nation, not a community. I'm sorry, to the nation. Anyway, I'll hold you down your focus would be I need to definitely sign a petition and go cop a shirt.
B1 to the family. This is Kendra Blackwood of Hot Lava Music TV and the Hot Lava. B1 to the family. This is Kendra Blackwood of Hot Lava Music TV and the Hot Lava Media Group. And I come to you today with an urgent call to action. And with that being said, this petition is to demand the U.S. government immediately make anti-Black racism a public health crisis is now an active campaign at change.org. And after this message I'm going to need you to go over there and show your support. Right after you smash that like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications. It doesn't cost you a thing. Now, this is a petition to demand cash reparations for foundational Black Americans addressing two critical components. So what is anti-Black racism? Anti-Black racism is defined here as policies and practices rooted in American institutions such as government, finance, education, healthcare, and justice that mirror and reinforce economic deprivation, racially targeted laws, beliefs, attitudes, prejudice, stereotyping and/or discrimination toward foundational Black Americans. What is a public health crisis, you ask? Well, a health crisis or public health crisis is a difficult situation or complex health system that affects humans in one or more geographic areas, from a particular locality to encompass the entire planet. Health crises generally have significant impacts on community health, loss of life, and on the economy. And ultimately the solution to the problem, it is imperative that the United States government declare anti-Black racism a public health crisis for foundational Black Americans.
We need to go out here and say exactly what we want. And we got to say it with our chest. And we kind of start pussyfooting around, and we got to stop being scared to say exactly what we want, what we need. We need that paper. Say it with your chest. Damn all that. We need justice. We need y'all to love us. No. We don't need that paper. We need reparations in the form of a check. Let's stop being afraid to say